Welcome one and all to the DTR track guide and setup series, where you're going to have the DTR Esports team at your disposal to give you the best tips and tricks around the F1 2022 circuit. We're going to start here in the Principality of Monaco, one of the most historic and the crown jewel on the Formula One calendar itself, racing around this sort of historic harbour. One of everyone's favourite races, but one of the most difficult circuits on the calendar. 3.337 kilometres and 19 corners, one DRS zone on this circuit. Limited overtaking opportunities can make this a very, very difficult place, especially in league racing. So hopefully, with a combination of a good setup and a few tips and tricks, you'll have the help you'll need to tackle this new track with the new cars. Of course, a very different style of setup as well. We've got a lot more aero to play with, so that should be a lot more interesting as well. But the lap we're going to have a look at today is from one of our D1 drivers, Xavi, ranked currently second in the world on PlayStation, which is absolutely mega. And if you go straight into that up, no surprise, 50-50, maximum aero to help us around this technical circuit. Then we got 60-54, slower power delivery is going to help get the power on with these big new cars. A lot of front camber as well for helping with turning. And then we look at suspension, relatively soft overall, just to help with the sort of the aggressive curves we see around Monaco, but the ride height is very high, and we'll dive into why that is a little bit later on, especially compared to last year's game. Braking sort of maximum pressures, we can really hit the brakes hard and get good performance out of them, and the tyre pressures maximum as well. Something you can alter personally, depending on feel and stuff like that. Make sure you get a good exit out of Anthony Nogues and running down towards turn 1 now. On board is Xavi in the Ferrari, of course, Charles Leclerc, the Monegasque driver, normally racing with it. Braking around 75 metre board, throw the car and using a lot of curve on the inside and go run right up to the wall as you climb up now. Beau Rivage heading towards Massenet. Keep on the right hand side, flick the car in, hit that apex quite late and get a second apex up against the wall. Right for Casino again on that apex. Avoid the bump on the left hand side, end of the first sector. We're going to keep it in second gears. We really hug Mirabeau and down towards the Nouvelle chicane. Now, a really key part of this is use the power to help get the car rotating and get a nice exit out of here. And then down into Portier, again, it's all about the exit, and you can use all the track. So you need to get a nice straight exit to really carry the speed and get the power down quite nicely. Heading towards the Nouvelle chicane, we'll be very aggressive on turning right up against the wall and then flick straight back to the right, using a lot of curve, and that's why you have a high ride height here. The curves are a lot more aggressive on this game, and we want to make sure we can attack them nicely. Through to back we go, flat out now through the swimming pool chicane as we flick it into the next chicane. Again, aggressive on both curves, on the inside and the outside, as we now go down towards the final two corners of Rascasse and Anthony Nogues. Flick the car in, avoid the apex curves on the left hand side and running towards the line with DRS wide open. Xavi's going to find 2/10 on that lap and go P2 in the world. A fantastic time from one of our D1 drivers and one of our esports drivers. We'll have a look at the off-board lap as well, just to have a bit more of a comparison and see things from that other perspective. So again, going down to Saint-Devote, using a lot of curb on the inside, and you really want to push the limits on the track limits there, because that just allows you to open up the corner, get a nice run all the way up the hill, up Beau Rivage towards Massenet. Double apex and Massenet, just where that apex curb is, and again, when the wall sticks out, you want to hit that. Hit the curb very nicely. It kind of dips down, so you want to get your front right wheel into that, and of course avoiding the bump, but just before Mirabeau. Down towards the Lowe's hairpin, avoid the curb on the inside and use the power to help rotate the car, and then get sort of down into Portier, keep it on the left-hand side, and again, just swing out, because that run is so important. With running so much downforce, you need to have good exits to try and keep your speeds up. Into the Nouvelle chicane, really aggressive on the curbs. You can abuse them quite a bit down there. It's something I think people need to try and play with. Into the back we go, apex, it's wall to wall here, and then flat out through the swimming pool chicane. Carry a lot of speed on the way in and sort of ride the bump quite aggressively. Into Rascasse we go, keep it really tight, swing right out to the wall on the left hand side, and that just allows you to really throw the car into the final corner, avoiding any walls or curbs. DRS wide open, and it is your run to the line. And that is Monaco. Hopefully there's been a few tips and tricks there for you to get your head around. It is a very, very difficult circuit, very difficult racing, and after the start, overtaking can be very, very difficult. There's sort of three opportunities in my opinion. You've got turn 1, of course, a little help with DRS, but it's so difficult to get that run. You've got the Lowe's hairpin, maybe a look on the first lap or so as everyone sort of concertinas up. And then, of course, you've got just into the Nouvelle chicane. You can have a little go at Rascasse, but it's always a very, very tricky point. But, of course, you can race at night as well in Monaco, which is a great spectacle, especially with these new cars that look fantastic under the lights. But keep tuned, because we're going to have a lot of sort of setup track guide videos coming your way shortly. league racing just about to get going as well. So a lot of exciting things happening at DTR. So make sure you subscribe, check out the next video in the series is coming up, and hopefully we can see you all very, very soon.